Varsika. Mark Ward. Robert Varsika. Another corner, this time off Dennis Irwin. It's a very, very mobile Everton front line. And they're stretching Manchester United from the outset. Mark Ward. Peter Beardsley. Always a trick or two up his sleeve. Good ball by Ratcliffe. Ward is onside. Watson and Keown are waiting in the middle. Schmeichel did just enough. Varsika off Donaghy for another corner. Intense early Everton pressure. Peter Schmeichel just palmed that away, but it fell for Varsika. Sheedy. He's made space for himself. Players already come to a standstill because there's an injured player that the Manchester United physiotherapist Jim McGregor is tending to. It's Dennis Irwin. And United could do with a breather here. Alex Ferguson was here on Tuesday to see the Arsenal game. Could have been in Real Madrid, I suppose. The weather's nicer, but the company's not quite as good. Irwin revived. But still a problem or two for the Manchester United defence. Sheedy's corner. Oh, and Steve Bruce almost ran the ball into his own goal. Peter Schmeichel came to claim it, felt that he was impeded by one of his own players. Total misunderstanding. Bruce got away with it. Ward in towards Watson, and Schmeichel eventually grabs it. Mark Hughes. United on the counter. First touch for young Ryan Giggs. Away from Ratcliffe. McClare in support. Took the responsibility himself. And just as Varsika is very quick for Everton, so Ryan Giggs is very, very pacey for United. But Steve Bruce came within a whisker there of turning the ball into his own goal at the other end. Schmeichel impeded, in fact, by Mark Hughes jumping in front of him, but Bruce just got it away. Phew. Sheedy helping it on, but there's not a blue shirt within 10 yards of where that bounced. Giggs sneaking in to make something of it. Keown in a spot of bother for a moment. Just managed to smuggle the ball back into the hands of his goalkeeper. But Everton well aware of Ryan Giggs' presence. Irwin, cut out by Sheedy. Irwin again, this time McClare. Everton throw. Now it's fallen finally for John Ebrell, and here's Robert Varsika. Men arriving to his left. Skipped away from Donaghy. Cotty's found some space. Ebrell's in there, but so too Schmeichel. Cotty didn't direct the header back across the face of goal as he needed. It's too close to the goalkeeper, and he had some time and space to pick out a man, but the man was Schmeichel. Both sides quite patient in their approach play. A lot of very skillful ball players out there, and the game's been dictated by them. Here's McClare finding some space and looking to help it on to Blackmore quickly. It was a nice idea, couldn't quite execute it. Mark Ward. Beardsley. Dennis Irwin now. 18 minutes played, no goals. Smashing challenge by Beardsley. It's not the first time we've seen him do that either. Sheedy. Now he's got Varsika on his way. Tony Cotty for company. Others arriving. Robert Varsika. Tony Cotty. Bounced awkwardly in front of Schmeichel, who was down very early, but held it cleanly. Don't think Tony Cotty made quite the contact that he wanted. Varsika, who's been a good source of ammunition for Everton so far. Sheedy. Thought about the left-footed shot, didn't he? Nobody hits them better. Maybe wishes he had a pot now. John Ebrell, though. Mark Ward. Looking for Varsika. Donaghy's header only for Beardsley. Now Alan Harper. Beardsley again, loves to come deep and turn the defence and run at them and play others in, and it's Cottee that he's trying to play in. Goal kick is the verdict. Cottee felt it might have got a deflection. But Peter Beardsley again, coming off of Paul Parker, leaving him with nobody to mark, and trying to play Tony Cottee in. Kevin Sheedy. Asked just a little bit too much of even Varsika there. Sheedy. Cottee. Couldn't quite get away from the attentions of Robson and Bruce, but in the opinion of the referee, the reason for that was a foul on Cottee. And Everton have a free kick in quite an inviting position. It's maybe 10 paces outside of the penalty area, but it's very much in Kevin Sheedy territory. Martin Keown is forward from the back on the far side. But I think your bookmaker would be giving you very short odds against a shot on goal here. Beardsley's taken up station within the United wall. It's Sheedy! Just a range fighter from Kevin Sheedy. Sweetly struck, but not with the direction to worry Manchester United. They won't want to give many more away, though. Ratcliffe winning it well. So too Parker. One back in turn by Sheedy. Harper. Now Varsika. 4 forward for support. Beardsley making the run towards the dead ball line. He's dispossessed Steve Bruce. Well, he did have Tony Cottee with him. But an ingenious piece of play by Peter Beardsley. How often he wins possession with those little sliding tackles. It was very clean, no question of a foul. Now what should he have done? Well, he went for goal, and Cottie's upstretched arms tell you what he thinks. Keown. Ebrell. A bit too long for Cottee, away by Parker, only as far as Varsika. Oh, he stood on the ball. So excited about the shooting chance which suddenly presented itself. Sheedy trying to play Ward in. And had backspin on it. Away by Bruce. Sheedy, what a beautiful pass that was. Here comes the shot. Deflected behind for the corner. Kevin Sheedy is getting that left foot working. And working the Manchester United defence in the process. Another Everton corner. Both Keown and Watson are forward. Mark Ward. In towards Martin Keown, awkward, Schmeichel made a punch, Ebrell in his own player, I think. Out as far as Ward. Got past Robson. Watson still there, too long for him. Varsika, brilliant save. Instinctive shot by the pole, instinctive goalkeeping by the Dane. He can't have expected that effort from Varsika, but somehow he kept it out. John Ebrell. International class from the two visiting internationals. Sheedy in towards Varsika again. This time the corner conceded by Blackmore. Another little knot of Everton pressure. Ward has space. Beardsley picked him out. Hasn't got space anymore. Tackled by his old West Ham teammate Paul Ince. Ratcliffe though. Beardsley and Ward in each other's way. Ince in between them. Play on, says the referee. Good advantage. Tony Cottee, John Ebbrell. Nothing much happening to him for him either side, and it was Ryan Giggs who got back to make the challenge. It's livened proceedings a little bit. Brian McClare, Mark Hughes, Mal Donaghy. Giggs hugging the touchline to his left. Ince though. Irwin forward to his right. Keown there ahead of Hughes. Beardsley was putting Bruce back. They're two of the most mild-mannered people you could meet in football off the field. Peter Beardsley and Steve Bruce. I'm sure the two Geordies won't have any ill feelings there. Bruce certainly has the free kick. But even they are getting embroiled in a match of rising temperatures. Robson. Giggs couldn't make it, McClare couldn't make it because Kevin Sheedy tripped him. And Manchester United have a free kick in a threatening position now. And Sheedy's turn to defend against the award from the edge of the penalty area. No doubt that he caught McClare late. Steve Bruce on the end of the wall. It's Clayton Blackmore, beaten away by Neville Southall, his Welsh international colleague. Don't know how much Southall saw that because Blackmore caught it well. It was low past the wall and Southall was very quickly down. Maybe that the charging player Varshika unsighted him somewhat. You wouldn't know it though. Varshika. Harper. Beardsley, Schmeichel's come and Schmeichel's got. He's a very experienced goalkeeper, 42 caps for his country. Won 4 championships in Denmark with his club there, Brøndby. He may be a newcomer to the English scene, but he knows his job. Dave Watson. There's no such thing as a lost cause to Mark Hughes. Beardsley was up a bit too early there. Watson was having a little nibble at Hughes, but he's forced it on to McClare. Giggs trying to get between Harper and Keown. And there just wasn't a gap. Mark Ward. Last action of the first half, which Everton have certainly had the better of. Robert Varshika, nicknamed Shifter by his teammates the moment he arrived here last season. And certainly Mal Donaghy will testify to his pace. Peter Schmeichel will testify to his shooting ability too. Neville Southall's made one useful save from Clayton Blackmore. But at half-time, the scoreline is Everton 0, Manchester United 0. Bright sunshine for the start of the second half at Goodison Park. It's quite a sultry afternoon. Manchester United were one of 5 teams to beat Everton here last season, and it's 10 years since they've slipped up quite so often at home. They didn't lose 5 home games in their 4 post-war championship seasons put together. Goodison form always the backbone of a successful Everton campaign. Goodison form good enough to beat the champions in midweek and good enough to exercise a quiet control in the first half of this game, which Alex Ferguson will be hoping Manchester United will challenge a little bit more. One or two bursts of Everton pressure for him to worry about, half a dozen dangerous corners. Robson. Just took his eye off that. Beardsley. First touch for Newell. Now what can he add to the game? A useful cross for Kevin Sheedy. Good save by Schmeichel. Well, Kevin Sheedy has headed a goal against Manchester United once upon a time. He doesn't head many, but he wasn't far away then. Schmeichel guarding his post. Mike Newell, the substitute, providing the cross. And Kevin Sheedy popping up with the header. Sheedy's cross this time. Awkward for Schmeichel. Appeals for handball against Parker. They were strong appeals too, but the linesman on the near side had a really good view of it. Martin Keown. Way by Ryan Giggs. Intercepted by Harper. But the ground still buzzing over the penalty appeal. As Mark Ward comes forward. Newell, fouled by Irwin. On goes Ward, but play's been pulled back for the free kick to Everton. Paul Parker shaking his head. He was the last man there. Well, it definitely struck his arm, but I'm not sure there's any real intent. I emphasise the linesman had a great position to make a judgment. It was a bit fortunate though, Parker. I've seen them given for that. Ward with the free kick. Schmeichel comes this time. Everybody in the ground aware of the new steps regulation. Schmeichel too. Boomer from Schmeichel. And a boomer too from Watson. First touch, I think, for Neil Webb. Not his most memorable. But he'll lend a bit of craft to the United midfield, and Newell here will lend a bit of height to the Everton attack. Here is Webb. Hughes. Racklin. Here goes Mark Ward. Pallister across the cover. Ward's going to take him on. He was pushed to the ground. Referee's not interested. Goal kick. Again, the linesman had an excellent view. And that's who Mark Ward is directing his anger towards. It seemed a pretty clear push by Gary Pallister. And a pretty effective one too. He certainly prized Ward off the ball, and it looked to be just inside the box. Everton unlucky on 2 occasions now. I don't think you could say either was a clear-cut penalty, but I think in both cases you could say that Manchester United have ridden their luck. And it's all been a little bit too much for Dave Watson. And he's going to be shown the yellow card for that high challenge on Brian McClair. One of those apiece. No goals apiece. Everton leading it on penalty appeals, 2-0. Ince. Away by Watson, unchallenged. Watson running in front of Ward that time. Mark Ward getting angrier and angrier. Paul Ince pushing him away. It's simmering. Alan Harper, the peacemaker. Ince and Ward, who were chatting away so amicably before the game, former West Ham teammates. Not quite such a friendly conversation with the referee. Ward gets away with a warning, Ince doesn't. Mark Ward clearly not a very good character witness. Well, he can afford to smile, but certainly after Robson had run in front of Ward, it was Ince who weighed in. Ward might have been looking for trouble, and Ince gave it to him. Keown's free kick. Pallister's header. By Shika. Sheedy. Ward's in there, so too Parker. Good header. Ince emerges with the ball. Everill's got it back. Peter Beardsley. Schmeichel preventing the corner. Certainly the game as lively as it's been. Paul Ince. Neil Webb. Mark Hughes. Brian McClair. Webb's made a forward run, and here is Neil Webb inside the Everton box. Couldn't get the leverage he needed. Looks a bit trimmer this season, Neil Webb. A bit more mobile. Says he's been on a special pasta diet to get the recipe. Away by Pallister. McClair. Here goes Hughes down the centre. Keown, just enough speed and just enough of a start to get there first. Ratcliffe, Ward, last 8 minutes. Beardsley on his way. Well, he wouldn't be aware where the goalkeeper was. He just had to chance his arm. It was beautifully delivered. And Peter Beardsley went for goal immediately. And Schmeichel had committed himself. Mike Newell pulling wide. Keown looking for it far post. Again appeals for handball from Everton. All sorts of claims. Robson there, the man jumping. No, it missed his arm. Giggs finding Hughes. Donaghy. Giggs again, but that's it. Everton have certainly put the brakes on Manchester United's sprint start to the season. Alex Ferguson's team come through the opening week unbeaten, but they came close to it on occasions this afternoon. Everton will certainly look back on 2 strong penalty appeals, one for a push on Ward, one for a handball against Parker. But they just couldn't quite break the deadlock, couldn't make their general superiority tell, and 2 of the front runners in the title race, both on course at the end of the first lap. It's Everton 0, Manchester United 0.